Welcome to our student loan video. If you listen to the end, please remember to like our video or subscribe to our channel. I'm Jacques Bolivar, a certified financial planning professional. Today we're going to talk about the decision-making process to manage your student loan debt. We'd like to introduce you to Jade. Like the average college graduate, she has a starting salary of over $55,000. But Jade, like the average college graduate in 2022, has over $27,000 of student loans. With a 50% debt to income ratio, Jade will have to determine how to best to pay off these debts. This can take 8 or more years. The first step, and the most important step, is to know where your money goes. Now, if you can answer yes to knowing where your money goes, then you can progress on to determine whether or not you're in the position to focus on paying down more debt. But if you don't know where your money goes, you need to introduce yourself to data aggregation. Well, you may be saying, Jacques, that's a very big word. Well, data aggregation programs are produced by Intuit, Quicken, and several other providers. They allow you to see your spending pattern in one place. They have the ability to integrate your various credit cards, debit cards, and spending places that you swipe and use so that you can easily create rules around key search words, dollar amounts, and save the time that traditionally others would have used envelopes and tracking receipts or a lot of data entry in Microsoft Excel. So if you're able to use data aggregation, this is the way to move further in our debt management flowchart. Once you have an awareness of where your money goes, you can ask yourself whether or not you have 3 to 6 months of cash reserve. If not, that's the first thing that you need to be saving towards. Without an emergency fund, you may be relying on credit cards every time you have an unexpected expense. But once you have this under control and you have a bit of a cash cushion, you need to determine what are your goals. And here we want to know, are you only focused on debt only as your target? But if you have multiple goals that include home purchase or contributing to your 401k, then you want to seek the advice of a financial professional like myself to help you prioritize and have a more nuanced approach. But for a moment, let's consider if you're focusing on debt only. At a minimum, we'd say you'd want to probably participate in your company 401k if they offer a match. That match is part of your compensation, and your future self will probably thank you for having done it. It's like free money, and you don't want to leave that on the table. With the sole goal of debt management, we want you to next consider what the level your goal debt is. Is it as a percent of your income less than 20%? And you want to compare, in this case, your interest rate that you're paying on your debt on average versus the interest rate you can get by saving or investing. Invest with a projected result that is greater than your cost of debt, and make sure that you manage your risk that you're taking when you invest appropriately. But let's say your debt as a percentage of income is 20 to 35%. We then would suggest that you focus on paying the minimum required amount, because here you probably have an opportunity to still focus on improving your credit score, and then begin to consider and integrate other goals at that point. But if your debt is more than 35%, you might consider paying more than the minimums to reduce your overall liability. A large debt to income ratio could actually negatively impact your credit score and hinder your ability to make other significant purchases or achieve goals like a home purchase. Despite how emotionally appealing it might be to pay smaller amounts, start with the highest interest rate to reduce your total amount that you're paying as a cost of debt. But what about the loan forgiveness that the federal government has promised in the last several years? This might be the very reason that some of you have been procrastinating, wondering whether or not the Supreme Court will decide favorably for the Biden administration's suggestion to reduce debt for $10,000 or $20,000 for certain student loan borrowers. We would strongly encourage you, no matter what the future holds for loan forgiveness, don't let this create uncertainty that would allow you to procrastinate. We can't control what the government will do, but you can control how you work your debt management and progress further in the debt management flowchart that we've shared and progress towards your financial goals. And with that, we'd encourage you to reach out to us if you have any further questions, or as always, we can provide more help. Please click on the button within our webpage to schedule an appointment or give us a call. You take care and have a great day. We'll hope to see you soon.